Fellow soil enthusiast, I've got something incredible to share with you today. After years of watching struggling gardens transform into thriving ecosystems, I've discovered that some of the most powerful soil restoration wisdom comes from an unexpected source: the Amish community. Their time-tested approach to reviving depleted, lifeless soil isn't just effective, it's revolutionary. If you're staring at compacted gray earth that seems incapable of growing anything beyond weeds, or if you've inherited a plot that previous owners have neglected into near sterility, this method will change everything. The Amish have been quietly perfecting soil restoration techniques for generations, and their secret weapon isn't expensive amendments or complicated chemistry. It's something far more elegant and sustainable. Before we dive into the Amish solution, let's talk about what we're actually dealing with when we say our soil is dead. Dead soil isn't just poor soil, it's soil that has lost its biological foundation. This happens when the intricate web of microorganisms, fungi, bacteria, and other soil life has been decimated through overuse of chemicals, compaction, erosion, or simply years of neglect. When I examine truly dead soil, I see telltale signs. It's often gray or pale in color, lacks the rich, earthy smell of healthy soil, and feels lifeless in my hands. Water either runs off the surface or pools without penetrating. Plants struggle to establish roots, and even when they do manage to grow, they're weak, pale, and susceptible to every pest and disease that comes along. The conventional approach to fixing this problem often involves throwing money at expensive soil amendments, chemical fertilizers, or complete soil replacement. But the Amish recognize something profound. Truly healthy soil isn't built, it's grown. Here's the method that changed everything for me, and it's beautifully simple. The Amish 3-season cover crop rotation system. This isn't just about planting cover crops, it's about understanding how different plants work together to literally resurrect dead soil from the ground up. The Amish approach centers on a specific sequence of cover crops that each serve a unique purpose in soil restoration. They don't try to fix everything at once. Instead, they work with nature's own timeline, allowing each season's plantings to prepare the soil for the next phase of recovery. The first phase begins with what I call the soil breakers, plants specifically chosen for their ability to penetrate compacted earth and begin the process of soil aggregation. The Amish traditionally start with a mix of crimson clover and winter rye, planted together in early spring as soon as the soil can be worked. This combination is genius in its simplicity. The winter rye has an incredibly aggressive root system that can punch through compacted soil layers, creating channels for air and water movement. Its roots also release compounds that help bind soil particles together, beginning the process of creating healthy soil structure. The crimson clover works alongside the rye, but with a completely different job. As a legume, it begins the critical process of nitrogen fixation, working with beneficial bacteria to pull nitrogen from the air and convert it into forms that plants can use. But here's what most gardeners miss. It's not just about the nitrogen. The clover's roots host an entire community of beneficial microorganisms that begin to rebuild the soil's biological foundation. During this phase, I never harvest anything. The entire purpose is soil restoration. I let these plants grow for about 60 to 90 days, depending on growing conditions, then cut them down and either till them lightly into the soil or let them decompose on the surface as a natural mulch. After the first cover crop has been incorporated, the Amish move to phase 2, the soil builders. This is where buckwheat becomes the star player. If you've never grown buckwheat as a cover crop, you're missing out on one of nature's most effective soil restoration tools. Buckwheat grows incredibly quickly, often reaching maturity in just 30 to 40 days. But speed isn't its only advantage. Buckwheat has the remarkable ability to access phosphorus that's locked up in soil, making it available to future crops. Its roots also produce acids that help break down organic matter and release nutrients that have been trapped in dead soil. What I love most about buckwheat is how it attracts beneficial insects while it's growing. The tiny white flowers are magnets for pollinators, and beneficial predatory insects that will help establish a healthy ecosystem balance in your garden. When you cut the buckwheat down before it goes to seed, all of this biological activity gets incorporated back into the soil. The Amish often follow buckwheat with a second quick-growing crop in late summer, usually radishes or turnips. These brassicas serve as natural soil aerators, with their large tap roots creating deep channels in the soil, while also scavenging nutrients that might otherwise leach away during winter months. The final phase of the Amish method focuses on protection and long-term soil building. This is where they plant their winter cover crops, typically a mix of winter wheat, crimson clover, and sometimes hairy vetch. This combination creates a living mulch that protects the soil through winter while continuing to build organic matter and biological activity. The winter wheat provides immediate soil coverage and prevents erosion, while the legumes continue nitrogen fixation even in cool weather. What makes this phase particularly brilliant is how it sets up the following growing season. By spring, you have a lush cover crop that can be cut and composted in place, providing both organic matter and a slow-release source of nutrients for your vegetable crops. The reason this method works so effectively lies in understanding soil biology. Dead soil lacks the complex community of microorganisms that healthy plants need to thrive. Each phase of the Amish cover crop system rebuilds different aspects of this biological community. So, the root exudates from different cover crops. They actually feed different types of beneficial bacteria and fungi, and as these microorganisms multiply, they start to create soil aggregation, which, really improves drainage and water retention. Plus, they begin producing natural compounds that suppress harmful pathogens and help plants access nutrients. By the end of one full cycle, typically one growing season, soil that was previously gray and lifeless begins to take on the dark, rich color of healthy earth. The improvement in soil structure is often visible within just a few months, but the biological transformation continues for years. Adapting this method for your garden doesn't require a large plot or farming equipment. I've successfully used variations of this technique in raised beds, container gardens, and small backyard plots. Start small with one section of your garden and scale up as you see results. The seed costs are minimal compared to other soil improvement methods, and you can often source cover crop seeds locally or through agricultural supply companies. Timing is crucial for success. Plan your cover crop rotations around your regular gardening schedule, using the off-seasons and periods between vegetable crops to implement the soil-building phases. Don't expect overnight miracles, but do expect to see noticeable improvements by the end of the first season. The most dramatic changes often occur in the second year, as the biological systems you've established really hit their stride. The Amish method of soil restoration isn't just about fixing dead soil. It's about understanding that healthy gardens grow from the ground up. By working with natural biological processes instead of against them, you're not just solving today's soil problems, you're creating a foundation for years of abundant harvests. Ready to transform your dead soil into a thriving ecosystem? Start planning your cover crop rotation today, and don't forget to document your progress. I'd love to hear about your results and see your before and after photos. If this method revolutionizes your garden the way it has for countless others, make sure to subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles for more time-tested gardening wisdom, and share this article with fellow gardeners who are struggling with poor soil. Together, we can bring dead earth back to life, one garden at a time.